Yo, what is up, guys? This is RizzyPOW, and I am your coach for the Phoenix Sunfloras in Season 2 of the MPL. That's right, the MPL has begun. Season 2 is in the works. I might say. Week 1 won't start for another 2 or 3 weeks, but we did have our draft this last weekend. And if you guys missed out on that, it was live tweeted out on the MPL Twitter. So just go to the MPL and you will be able to see all the tweets of all the draft picks and everything like that. I'll make sure to leave a description for that in the I'll make sure to leave a link for that in the description, as well as a link to the hub where you can also see all the draft picks. So that is MPL has begun, and I'm here to defend my title as a Season 1 champion. Hopefully we can become the Season 2 champion, but that's obviously going to be very hard. It's going to be much harder than last season. Remember last season, I did not even draft my own team, and I joined mid-season, and it was I had a very bad team in my opinion, but I made it work. Somehow I made it work, and I somehow even made it playoffs, and then I somehow won. I don't even understand how it happened, but it ended up happening. So this is actually technically, in my opinion, I'm gonna call this my first real draft experience in Season 2 of the MPL. I've not really had any proper draft experience. I don't know very well on how to draft, is what I'm kind of trying to say. I drafted only once before in a league, and that was in the IPBA, and drafted extremely well in that league, but that's mostly because the rest of the other people in that league, many people did not know what they were doing in the IPBA. Like, someone drafted Pheasant like 6th round or something. I don't know what was going on in their head. I really don't, but they did. So I was able to take advantage of that and get a ton of threats. I ended up having like 7 OU Mons and like 3 UU like top threats on my team. So it wasn't like, I'm not going to call that like a true draft experience for that reason. Yeah. So I'm now going to get into my Season 1 draft, and I was thinking about this for like a week even. I was thinking about what Mon do I want to draft. I was the 2nd pick in the 1st round, and I decided to go with Azumarill. Now, Azumarill, in my opinion, is one of the best Pokemon in this format. It can two-shot almost everything in the metagame. It really can. There's almost nothing that can appreciates taking a hit in this format. You can say Mega Venusaur. You can argue that it wants to take a hit, but at the same time, this is a league format. I can return a choice vendor return does about 40% to a Mega Venusaur, and after spikes, I might be able to even two-shot it. Now, obviously, that is very situational, but all I'm saying is that it still does not appreciate taking a return. Azumarill is a very, very powerful Pokemon. It doesn't do 50% of Mega Venusaur, but that's one of the only Pokemon that I can see kind of walling it. There's another one being Mega Scizor. Can technically run Natural Gift Fire, although I don't see myself doing that against Cypher, who drafted Mega Scizor. And there are probably some other counters that I'm just not thinking of at this moment for Azumarill, but yeah. And now I'm going to go on to my next mon, which is Latios. Now, Latios is I felt it was very good with Azumarill. It was a nice, powerful special attacker, and it can just fire off Draco Meteors, and I will make my opponent regret if they did not draft a Fairy type. I'll make them regret it, or at least something to switch in on this thing, because this thing can just fire off Draco Meteors, and even just looking at some teams even after the complete draft, there's so many teams that I can just see myself just spamming Draco Meteor. It even has some utility in like Roost and Defog, and it was just overall a good pick. It was a Skull switch-in, which Azumarill technically isn't not. It's a water resist, but it does not appreciate taking a Skull for the burn. I know I can, some weeks I might even run Lumberry Azumarill, but yeah, that's a different story. My next Pokemon is going to be Gliscor, and Gliscor, I kind of wanted it because I wanted a wall breaker. I wanted something that I could a taunter, and I wanted it has a bit of offensive pressure as well. Swords Dance, that's not really too offensive. That's more like stall breaking against bulkier Pokemon. It can set up on a lot of things, and it's not a sweeper even with Swords Dance, but it's kind of like it's a stall breaker. That's pretty much it. That's why I drafted it. It was bulky, and it also helped against Slax's team because he does have the Excadrill Sand Rush team. So it's kind of why I drafted it. Gliscor, I could even sub toxic people to death and stuff. It's gonna be a great time. So that's why I drafted Gliscor. That is why I drafted Gliscor. And I'm now going to, my next pick after Gliscor was Mega Pincer. Now, I originally wanted to draft Mega Diancie this season. I thought Mega Diancie was one of the overlooked Megas, overlooked completely. And I feel it's really good in this format. And unfortunately, just how my team went, I didn't realize stuff would be available when they were. And I kind of just grabbed stuff that I wanted, like Latios. It went really well with Azumarill, so I just grabbed it. And I did not realize that after that, there's not much point of running Mega Diancie plus Latios. Latios, they have, well, one, I'm not getting any better base speed or anything. They're base 110 as well. They're both, I mean, I wouldn't call them frail, but they're not really that bulky. They have very similar roles, and plus it's not like I need the Fairy Stab anymore or a Fairy type Pokemon. I have a Azumarill, so it wasn't like it was needed that much. So I just decided, you know, I'm gonna go with Mega Pincer. I have another really offensive threat, and I have two powerful priorities right now. I have Aqua Jet, Azumarill, and Quick Attack Mega Pincer. Now, another thing that I was trying to do with this team was I was trying to make a very difficult team to prepare for. My Azumarill, in my opinion, is one of the most difficult mons to prepare for in this format because you have to prepare for ban. You can't allow it to belly drum sweep you, and there's just a lot of things with Azumarill that make it really good, and it's really easy to use in this format. I feel it's really easy to use when building a team, so you can build a team all around it. And Mega Pincer, in my opinion, just adds more pressure when building for the team because grass types don't do well. Azumarill fears grass types and such like that. Mega Pincer kind of checks that, so it really does help against a lot of Pokemon in my division as well. So, you know, I end up just going with Mega Pincer, and my next pick after that is going to be Tyrantar. Now, this was the point when I drafted Tyrantar when I feel my draft went downhill. I felt my first 4 picks were pretty solid, and Tyrantar, I'm not sure, I mean, has some use for me. It was a nice pursuit trapper. It does well against many people in my division, which is another reason why I drafted it. It does well against, well, I'm not going to say anything else. I don't want to give anything away, but it's a nice pursuit trapper, and Scarf can also do really well. It's another option for rocks, and that's pretty much what it was for. It can also take some special hits if I wanted to do that, and I'm even looking at some teams that I might even run Assault Vest sometimes, so you know, we'll see. I'm not even 100% sure if I'll run that, but that is Tyrantar. So my next Pokemon is going to be Rotom Heat. Now, Rotom Heat is a Pokemon, it did very well on my team. I already have, another reason why I drafted Tyrantar was a switch in for like a flying resist is pretty much what I wanted as well. So like a Choice Bandit, Staraptor, or Braviary can't rip through my team. I don't really have to prepare for Talonflame because Dench drafted it and I'm not going to be battling Dench. So I wasn't really too scared of Talonflame, although I could also always fear somebody getting a trade later and getting Talonflame. So, Talonflame, oh no, what am I saying? Rotom Heat. And Rotom Heat was another like flying resist as well. It gets Will-O-Wisp, which was really nice. It even gets Thunder Wave if I ever want to run that. And I can also see myself running it a very offensive with Overheat and with the Fire and Electric Stab. It does very well for me, so that's kind of what I wanted it for. I did not really have many super powerful, I don't really have too many super powerful special attackers, so I decided to go with Rotom Heat. It's good for steel types and such like that, and yeah, I just decided to go for it. Now, my next pick was Roserade. Now, I feel that Rotom H and Roserade were pretty solid picks. I just think Tyrantar was kind of just like, maybe I should have not gone for that. Maybe there are better pokes out there. I think I got sniped around somewhere here. I wanted Klefki pretty badly, but I ended up not getting him. And I decided to go with Roserade. Dench ended up getting Klefki, but I ended up going with Roserade because, you know, hazard stacking is also really good. Hazard stacking is really good for my team, and especially because I have an Azumarill and a Mega Pincer, which can sweep, especially after some Pokemon have taken some prior damage. So that's the reason why I did that. Roserade is also gives me a Spore switch in or a Sleep Powder switch in, and it also provides me with a way to put my opponent to sleep as well, which is really nice. Provides me with a fair resist as well, so people like Well, I mean, I already had Rotom Heat, but Altaria, Mega Altaria, I'm Rotom Heat, so it's not like a huge deal, Mega Altaria. And Roserade just gives me a nice poison offensive typing, so that's why I wanted it. That's pretty much why I wanted it. Next Pokemon is going to be Cloyster. Now, as I said, I wanted to create a team which was very, very difficult to prepare for. Now, maybe Cloyster wasn't the perfect pick over here. Maybe it wasn't. I already do have a water type, which is not a huge deal, but Shell Smash, Smudge Smash is super scary, as well as it gets spikes and Tox Spikes. You can run a lead. It's another Rapid Spinner technically, but I don't really see myself using it as I don't really see myself using Rapid Spin on this too much. Maybe sometimes, maybe like if I want to do a lead, I could run like Rapid Spin, Spikes, or even Toxic Spikes, and then Shell Smash and Ice Cold Sphere, or even Explosion somewhere. But yeah, so that's why I drafted Cloyster. It's kind of for like maybe if I ever want to go hyper offense, which I see myself doing quite a bit in this league. It's kind of not the route that I want to end up taking, hyper offense. I kind of want to go with a balanced style, but we're gonna have to see about that. Maybe I can get some trades in and stuff and make a better team. Now my next Pokemon is going to be Blissey. It's going to be Blissey, and if you guys don't know, I had Chansey on my team last year. It's the only reason, in my opinion, that I made it so far and actually won in Season 1. It was, even though Chansey did not even come out in the Pokeball, it did not even make an appearance. Without Chansey, I don't think I would have even been able to beat Trip, because I disagree with his Manaphy set, but I don't think he would have run that Manaphy set if I didn't have Chansey, and maybe some other things too. But Manaphy was a huge threat to the team, and I could have. It kind of just removed a threat out of the way that he ran it. I don't know. And there's also some things that he did differently in that match, in preparing wise, that made Chansey just not very useful in that match. But it let the door open for other Pokemon. Is kind of what I'm trying to say. Mega Slowbro did really well that match. But yeah, we're gonna talk about Blissey now. Blissey was a Pokemon I kind of wanted, just a Spadef Pokemon. I was really rushing when I was making this pick because I was driving somewhere and I was just I had some time to think about it, but I did not have enough time. Probably I should have taken more time to pick about it instead of just hastily picking Blissey, but I ended up doing that, and I might even drop it week 1. So we're gonna see about that. And yeah, that's Blissey. And now my next Pokemon is going to be Stoutland. Now Stoutland is a very interesting mon. I do have Tyrantar. Now looking back at it, I kind of wish this is where the Tyrantar thing doesn't really make sense, because Tyrantar, Stoutland, yeah, it's a good offensive core, I guess, but it does not fit too well with the rest of my team. Maybe I'll be able to make it work. We're going to see it. It does add a whole new dimension to my team, just having Stoutland right there. It gives me a lot of speed, and I might end up dropping it. I really don't know if I'm going to end up dropping it. But I do have Stoutland right there, and I might end up sweeping with it. Might end up having a sweep. I'm not going to just drop it hastily. I haven't even dropped Blissey yet. I know what I want to drop it for, but I'm just thinking a little bit more about it before I just make it completely drop it, because just in case it does well against certain teams, I want to have it for that week. Same with Stoutland. And now my last pick is going to be the Miss Magius. Miss Magius. Miss Magius. This, I got sniped again, and I chose Miss Magius. I really wanted Cofagrigus. The reason I wanted Cofagrigus is because, you know, it's another Will-O-Wisper, and it also has the ability to block Rapid Spins. So that is the reason why I kind of wanted a Ghost type. I also had a kind of a fighting weakness. I really had a lot of fire resistances, a lot of things to just eat up fire, fighting type hits, such as Azumarill. And Mega Pincer, maybe it can eat them up, but any other move kind of wrecks it. I also do have Latios and Gliscor. So I have a lot of fire resist, but I also have a lot of fire weaknesses, fighting weaknesses. So, you know, I just wanted a fighting immunity in itself, and I wanted that offensive typing for some matchups. Now, Miss Magius was not the pick I originally wanted. I wanted Cofagrigus, and Cofagrigus would have done so much for this team, especially with what I want to drop Blissey for. It would have done really well. I think it would have added a whole new dimension to the team. I wanted Trick Room on it. Is kind of what I'm saying. I could add a Trick Room on it, and I would have Nasty Plot, and Nasty Plot, Cofagrigus. It can also be used defensively. I could use Will-O-Wisp, have it as a wall, it gets Pain Split, and all that kind of stuff. So, it'll also been a Rapid Spin blocker. So that's kind of why I wanted it. But Dan ended up drafting it, and I should have probably drafted it instead of Stoutland, and then drafted Stoutland last round. It's kind of a dumb move on my part, but I might end up getting it as a trade later. We're gonna see about that. But Miss Magius. Yeah, so it's also kind of fast. It can set up its own Nasty Plots, and it's powerful offensively. It does also get Will-O-Wisp as well as Heal Bell. So it was either Miss Magius or Dusclops after that thing had been drafted, and maybe I should have gone with Dusclops. I don't know. I wish I don't know. Towards the end, I think my draft just kind of wavered. Like, it just was not very good towards the end, in my opinion. But yeah, so I can maybe potentially change it with some free agents. I don't think I have the best team at all. Nowhere near. But, yeah, I'm kind of scared. Just look at this team. I really want to at least make playoffs. I want to win as well. You have no idea how much I want to win this season. But I definitely want to at least make it to playoffs. I don't know who I'm going to battle in playoffs, obviously. I'm mostly prepared for people that I am going to battle for. I already know the schedule, and I'm actually battling Anthony week 1. So we're going to be doing that week 1, and I think week 1 is going to be in about 2 or 3 weeks. So it's going to be in a while, but you guys can just sit back and it'll be there soon. But yeah, so make sure to go check out the MPL channel as well as the hub and the Twitter and all that jazz. We're going to be really active on the MPL channel coming this next week or two. We have a couple of new announcers such as Bulky Cotton Candy, Josh, I Poke Shuckles, and Tets the Mega Noctowl. So they're all really cool guys, and there's going to be interviews on that channel really, really soon. So make sure to go subscribe to them. I was a former announcer on it myself, but I'm obviously not going to be there anymore because I'm a coach. So make sure to go subscribe to, and also check out the other people of the MPL, because I'm sure they're going to be doing the same draft analysis and all that kind of stuff. So hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to go check all that stuff out, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.